Everybody knows that trees and plants produce part of the oxygen we need to breathe. It's easy to think of the world's forests as planet's lungs. But did you know that oceans produce more oxygen than trees? Oceans and seas produce more oxygen than plants and trees, and the proportions are not even close. Yes, most of the air we breathe comes from the water surrounding our planet. But how? It is produced by marine plants and trillions of tiny one celled organisms called phytoplankton found in both salt and fresh bodies of water. Trees don't produce most of the Earth's oxygen, which makes up 21% of the Earth's atmosphere. The ocean does. These plant organisms are too small to be seen with the naked eye, but when billions of them gather together during an algal bloom, they look green slime like. They may be too tiny to see, but phytoplanktons are one of the most important organisms needed for the ocean and the rest of the planet to survive. Most algae exist as single cells that make up what we call phytoplankton. Phyto means plant-like. Planktons are tiny organisms that float in the water. Like land plants, phytoplanktons have chlorophyll to capture sunlight and they use photosynthesis to turn it into chemical energy. They consume carbon dioxide and release oxygen. The phytoplanktons wax and wane with the seasons. Their bloom happens in spring when there is more available light and nutrients. The air we breathe is 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen. The rest is made up of less common gases, including carbon dioxide. But it wasn't always that way. Until 600 million years ago, Earth's atmosphere had less than 5% oxygen. It was mainly a mix of nitrogen and carbon dioxide. Land plants didn't exist until 470 million years ago. Trees weren't responsible for the increase in oxygen. So where did it come from? The ocean. Plants, algae, and cyanobacteria all create oxygen. They do this through photosynthesis. Using energy from sunlight, they turn carbon dioxide and water into sugar and oxygen. They use the sugars for food. Some oxygen is released into the atmosphere. But oxygen is also used up. Most living cells use it to make energy in a process called cellular respiration. When organisms die, they decompose. Decomposition also uses oxygen. Most oxygen that produced gets used up by these two processes. Used up means the atoms become part of a molecule, which is different. The oxygen atoms are still around, just in a different form. Over million years, tiny single-cell algae and cyanobacteria pumped out oxygen. Much of it got used up in respiration or decomposition, but some of the dust organisms didn't decompose. They sank deep into the ocean and settled on the bottom. That left a tiny bit of oxygen behind. Instead of being used up, it stayed in the air. In this way, the oceans slowly built up the oxygen in our atmosphere. At the same time, they decreased the amount of carbon dioxide. Photosynthesis also uses carbon dioxide. So today, the process continues. We now know that most than half of the planet's oxygen come from oceans. Not the entire ocean, just the top 200 meters or about 656 feet or so. That's about as far as sunlight can travel through water to power photosynthesis. In this photic zone, we find all kinds of photosynthetic organisms. Even tinier organism plays a similar large role. Prochlorococcus bacteria are so small, about 20,000 of them fit in a single drop of seawater. They live in the world's oceans. Prochlorococcus and other ocean phytoplankton are responsible for 70% of Earth's oxygen production. So, although trees and forests are essential oxygen producers, they're not the only ones. So, next time you think about the Earth's lungs, picture the ocean.